Hi lovelies, I'm at uni. Woo! As you may see, I'm in my halls. They're pretty uninspiring at the moment, but I'm going to try and improve that, and I promise I will do a room tour when I've fully unpacked and got everything sorted and how I wanted it. So I just thought I'd do a little video on some tips of how I got here, mostly aimed at people who are applying to uni now. Just some little tips and advice on how to apply. Firstly, and the biggest tip I would say, is to stay organised. Write down your to-do lists and make deadlines of when you're going to do each thing by, and tick it off when you've done it. There's nothing more satisfying than ticking something off when you've done it on a to-do list. So before you can actually start applying for university, you need to choose your 5, or however many you want to choose. I think 5 is the maximum. Have a look at the stats on the newspapers and stuff. The Guardian one's quite good. Just to see how they're ranking in sort of everything, and there are some websites where you can compare universities directly on like the percents of student satisfaction and all that sort of thing. Yeah, make full use of those websites because they're quite handy, but then don't only base your decision on the stats. You've got to actually like the university as well. Which leads me on to my second point. Think about the area that you're going to. Can you imagine living in this place for 3 or 4 years of your life? So you've got to seriously have a think about that. Have a look around, maybe just go and see the city or wherever you're going to, as well as the actual university. I would definitely recommend going to see it, and try and see the accommodation as well, because that's a big factor, because that's where you're going to be living. When I came to a open day for Northumbria, I didn't get to see the accommodations. I think I went to quite a late one, so they weren't open anymore, so I just had to gamble. They had pictures online and stuff, but it was still a big gamble. Another tip I'd say is start looking early. It's never too early to start looking for universities. Just have a look at the stats and their websites and what their accommodation looks like, and ask people who've gone or are going like what they think of it. Just start thinking about it as early as possible. If you're not applying to go to uni next year and you're younger, start thinking about it now, and then you'll have a clear idea in your head about where you want to go and what you want to do. My uni application was very, very last minute, because in my last year of college I decided I wasn't going to go to uni at all. I was just going to go straight into work, and then about halfway through my year at work I decided actually I would quite like to go to university, and it was very rushed and very last minute and very stressful, so definitely get organised early and it will just make everything a lot more smoother and easier for you. Also, once you've decided that you are going and what course you want to do, start your personal statement really early, because then you can proofread it, you can get other people to proofread it, like teachers and parents and anyone. I found my personal statement quite easy just because it's blagging about yourself really, just make yourself look as good as possible, use lots of big words, good sentences. You have to know what course you're applying for though, really, before you start your personal statement. Because I was going to apply for 2 different courses. I can't remember what they were now, but so it's difficult to write one personal statement that covers 2 courses, so it's easier once you know what course you want to do to then do your personal statement very specifically about that. Another thing is apply for a good range. Like I applied for some nearer to home and then some sort of halfway, and I applied for one up north because I've got a family up here, so I thought it'd be nice to have the option of coming up here, and it turns out that this is the one that I fell in love with. Another really good tip, which I did do, is make sure that you, try to apply through your college or organisation or with someone, because they can help you, because they already have links with the universities, so it would just make the whole thing a lot easier. I know friends who didn't apply through college that did it like separately, and they're finding some of the bits really difficult because there's no help, there's no support whatsoever. My college did quite a lot of it for me. Like I sent my application to my college and they checked through it for me and they made sure everything was there and right, and then they sent it off to UCAS, so it's like a proofreader. So, you've applied to university, you've done your UCAS, you've got your offers, hooray! Hopefully they're all unconditional, and now you've got to decide from your 5 which ones you actually want to go to. If you've already been to see them, then that's great, because you'll already have an idea of what they're about. If you haven't, go and see them now. At least sort of it'll help you to narrow it down, because I thought that I was going to go to Royal Holloway. I thought that would be the one that I would love, because the stats are amazing, the course was really, really good, but thank God I went to see it and I just decided it wasn't for me. It's a gorgeous building, but not for me. So that made me rethink. So it's a good job that I did go to see it, otherwise I would have ended up there and not enjoyed it. Seems simple, but write down lists of pros and cons of each one, and then whichever has the most pros and the least cons is usually the best one to go for. And take everything into consideration, like location, like the people in the location. People up north I found are very friendly, so that was quite a big factor. Cost of living, some places are more expensive to live in than others. How easy it will be for you to go and see your family, sort of travel, and everything like that. Next thing to do is our favourite subject ever, student finance. The student finance website is terrible and they know it, so the best thing to do is, if you're in any way stuck, just phone them. They know that their website's rubbish, so they will take you through it step by step and do most of the work for you, so just phone them and it's a lot easier. Try and get as much money as you can out of them, because although that sounds really sleazy, the more money you have, the less likely you are to have to get a job while you're out there, so more study time. I am going to have to get a job, which I need to start looking for, worrying. But if you can avoid it, then that would be good, because you've got more time to socialise and study and do all that sort of thing. So they give you an option to get as much as you can without putting your parents' information in, or for putting your parents' information in. And that's like household income, their tax and all that fun jazz. I did put my parents' information in and I got a little bit of grant out of it, which was very good. So if you put your parents' information in, they're not going to give you less. It'll always be the same or more than the minimum you can get. So they're not going to, if your parents are really, really wealthy, they're not going to take your money away from you. They'll still give you the minimum. So there's no harm in putting in your parents' information and hoping that you get a little bit more, because it never hurts. So I hope that's been useful to at least some of you. That's not all the tips ever, that's not like a step-by-step guide of how to apply to university. There's just some tips and advice that I would give anyone that is applying to uni now. So I hope you enjoyed that and found that useful, and please give me a like if you have, and subscribe for more of my uni tips videos. I'm thinking of doing a what to bring to uni video, because I really struggled with that when I was trying to pack for uni. There's no information at all out there really of what you should bring. So I'll do one of them, and any questions you have about uni and any video requests about it or anything at all, leave me a comment or an inbox and I will try and respond to that. Bye!